What's up everybody, this is Scott with 512 Garage and I'm back with another video. I'm here at the AWE HQ with this beautiful 2020 C8 Corvette and we're going to spend some time talking about the new exhaust lineup for this car right here. So stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss this one. All right, guys, before I get started, a huge thank you to both AWE and All Collector Auto Sales for allowing me to come in and review this gorgeous car right here. Make sure you give them a follow on their social media, and I'll have links down in the description for you. So why would anybody want to put a brand new exhaust on a brand new car? Well, typically when anybody puts an aftermarket exhaust on a car, it's usually for three reasons: looks, sound, and performance. And you guys are in luck because we're gonna go over all three of those things. Plus, we're gonna take this car out on the road and I can give you my driving impressions. So we're gonna first start with the looks. Yeah, we're gonna look at the styling of this exhaust on the back of the C7. So let's head out back and take a look. All right, you guys, we're at the back of this C8 Corvette and look how awesome the tips look on this car. Now, there are two axle back options for both the C7 and the C8 Corvette. The touring axle back, which comes with that 180 tech, we'll talk about that in a minute, or you can opt for the Rowdy and Ruckus Track Edition. Now, either way you go, you can opt for either chrome tips or black tips. And both systems are made right here in the US with US steel, T304. The good stuff. So just like the taillights on the C7 were a bit controversial when GM moved away from that round design, the stock exhaust on the C8 Corvette was also a little bit controversial with those square tips, but AWE solved that problem with those round tips right there. From a styling perspective, other than these tips, AWE has another trick up their sleeve, and this is perhaps my favorite part of this system. Let me grab this. So every C8 system comes with this heat shield right here, and you can actually see the AWE logo through that valance down there, and I really think it gives it that supercar look. All right, you guys, before we talk about sound and performance, let's talk a little bit about the technology that goes into these systems here. Now, I mentioned 180 tech earlier in the video. Let me just explain to you what that actually means. So right here I have a 180 tech resonator from a touring system, and it's got these internal baffles that really eliminate all of that drone that none of us like to have when we're cruising. And I have the touring system on my C7, and I can tell you right now, it does a fantastic job of eliminating the drone, but when you put that right foot down, yeah, it makes some good noises. So another important piece of tech built in to this exhaust system was that it was specifically tuned for active fuel management mode. That means it still sounds great even when the car is a 4-cylinder. So whether you opt for the touring or the track system, they both come with AFM valve simulators, so you don't have to worry about check engine lights. And all of AWE's exhaust systems come with a lifetime guarantee, so it's going to outlast your car. Now, what do you say we get a cold start, pull this car outside, and get some sound clips for you. All right, you guys, so you got a little taste of the sound of that exhaust with that cold start. Now it's time for some revs, but before we do that, let's talk a little bit about performance. 19 horsepower and 15 pound-feet of torque gained from this axle back exhaust, and they have a dyno here at the AWHQ so they can confirm those performance gains. Now I'm going to stop talking and start revving. All right, guys, we're gonna take this C8 out with the AWE touring axle back and let's get some driving impressions of this car. Sounds good. All right, guys, we are setting off in the C8 here. And I could do probably a whole review video on this car, but unfortunately we don't have time to talk about anything else really than this exhaust. Now, if you've been a fan of the channel for a little while, you probably saw a video where Horsepower Obsessed and I were on a racetrack with his C8 and my C7, and I actually had the opportunity to drive his C8. So this is the second time driving a C8 Corvette. And I can tell you, the car's shifting at about 1,500 RPMs. And obviously we're just sort of pulling out onto the road here, and you know, no excessive exhaust noise. So if you're concerned about, you know, just this super loud exhaust all the time, yeah, you don't have to worry about it with this. So in a normal cruising situation, or, you know, low RPM, pulling around your neighborhood, it's really not going to be all that obnoxious. All right, we're pulling out onto the main road here. The car is in sport mode, shifting at about 2,000 RPMs. It's just amazing how quick this transmission shifts. And we're just cruising along, and there's absolutely no drone, which is, you know, sort of what the 180 technology is supposed to do. You know, if you haven't driven a C8 or even a car with a dual clutch transmission, it is really remarkable how fast the shifts happen. All right, so we'll just head down this road here, and I just want to do a couple short little pulls for you so you can actually hear what this sounds like. Yeah, I mean, you know, just that signature AWE sound when you put your foot into the pedal. Sorry, I can't even talk. I mean, just the fact that I'm driving a C8 now is pretty exciting, let alone one that has this AWE exhaust on it. It is a totally different experience than driving a C7 with the AWE exhaust, when you've got, you know, more of the engine or all of the engine sitting in front of you and the exhaust running underneath you. Everything is happening behind your head, obviously, in a C8 here. So, very cool sound. But again, you can have a conversation inside the car, and you know, that 180 tech is really working hard for you. Yeah, and you get waves everywhere you go in a C8 Corvette. So a mild acceleration up to about 3 grand. You can really hear that AWE exhaust. And beyond the sound of this, just the way the exhaust looks when the car's not moving, I think it really finishes off the back end of the C8 Corvette, those big round tips. And you guys know I have the diamond black tips on my C7, and I really like the way they look on that car. And when I was driving over to do this review, I wasn't sure whether this car was going to have the chrome tips or the diamond black tips. And you know what, guys? I actually like the chrome tips on this car. I think it really fits the style and the color on this car. It was a good choice by the owner to go with the chrome tips. And there's a cop. So we'll just take it easy here. Hey, I want to give another huge shout out to AWE and All Collector Auto Sales. Information will be down in the description for you to check out. Make sure you hit them up on social media. And there's a cop in front of me. I wonder what he thinks I'm going to do here. Should I pass him? I mean, he wouldn't pull over a C8, would he? All right, you guys, let's do another little pull in this car from a dead stop and hear that AWE exhaust with the windows down. Yeah, I'd say that sounds pretty good. All right, let's get this thing back before I get in trouble. Wow. This thing just sounds insane. Did you hear those pops and burbles on the shift? That was crazy.
You see them? The cops?
No.
Oh, there's two. I should have told you, there's two cops sitting right there.
Oh.
They didn't move yet. I'm kind of surprised they didn't pull right into the parking lot, but...
I'm gonna pull this in the garage. All right, you guys, that does it for another video. Thanks for stopping by the channel. There's so much great content on YouTube for cars, especially Corvettes, so any time you spend on my channel is greatly appreciated. Exhaust systems for both the C7 and C8 Corvette from AWE are up on the 512 Garage website, so head on over and check them out. If this is your first time to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. Smash that like button and leave me some comments. You guys know I love interacting with people who love cars and Corvettes just as much as I do. Till next time, see ya.